Well, hello and welcome to the Informed Traveler Podcast, a weekly travel podcast where our goal is to help you become a more informed traveler. And I'm your host, Randy Sharman. It is all about the area of Puerto Vallarta and the Riviera Nayarit, Mexico this week, as travel expert Onanta Forbes is in Puerto Vallarta, so we'll check in with her in a few seconds to see what she's been up to. And then we'll chat with Israel Urbina with Visit Nayarit, as WestJet recently announced new nonstop service from Calgary to Tepic, the capital of Nayarit, which opens up a whole new area to explore, so we'll get some insight into that. But first, let's kick things off chatting with travel expert Onanta Forbes, who joins us each week to discuss some of the travel news and travel trends. You can follow her adventures on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Onanta Forbes. OnantaForbes.com is her website. And this week we find Onanta in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Hola, Onanta. ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Bueno, gracias.
Yes.
You are in Puerto Vallarta when we are practicing our really bad Spanish. So you got a chance to practice it at least for the last few days, right?
Correct. Yes, we have the wonderful experience of spending a week in Puerto Vallarta. You can't get tired of waking up to blue, sunshiny skies, warm weather. Weather this week has been around 30 degrees. Light breeze, wonderful. Can't complain.
Yeah, well, it all sounds wonderful. I always think that's why people are so happy there, because the weather's always nice. You know, they get the odd storm or whatever, but still, that's why people go there to enjoy the nice weather. So, what have you been doing?
So, you know what? We came with a plan of no plan, because we've been here a few times. So we, have done the must-sees, must-dos. So we just came here to enjoy the resort, and the resort we're staying at is one that we stayed at before. It's called the Casa Villas. It's very near the airport. So by cab, it's 10, 15 minutes, depending on traffic. It's an all-inclusive adult-only resort, and which is nice for us. We like that atmosphere. This is a good resort if you're seeking quiet, all-inclusive, luxurious experience. They have in the morning at breakfast different, live entertainment, like a person that's playing a harp or playing a guitar, singing lovely songs. We have access to a beach club, which is near their sister property, the Villas Vallarta, which is a family-friendly resort if people, want to experience this chain. And there's another one called Grand Villas in Riviera Nayarit. So, quite a nice option for people to stay at this chain. It's really close to the marina. So last night, but you can walk to the marina, which we did last night, and enjoy the restaurants, the shopping that's there, see in the harbor all the beautiful boats. There's some looks like James Bond boats. Like you kind of think, how rich are these people? But it's kind of fun. And when what we like to do is enjoy the opportunity of working with a property that affiliates with a local charity, because we're very privileged to be able to visit different places in the world. So I feel it's important that we give back to the communities that we visit. So they are working with a boys' children's home. So you can bring different like toys or non-perishable goods and such, and they'll take it to the children's home. So I think it's important to look at how you can give back. But I have to tell you something. I'm going to back up a little bit. So, we are very lucky in Calgary as a gateway to have nonstop flights to different points. And, Puerto Vallarta is one, and it's a year-round destination. WestJet offers it. Now, I want to just share, WestJet's going through a conversion with Sunwing because they're, getting their Sunwing planes ready to go to different destinations. So we were booked on a Dreamliner to come down. So we booked in premium, and then there's the opportunity to do business class upgrades. So we did it. We were accepted. But then it didn't happen. So like at 2:00 in the morning, they said, oh no, we're changing the aircraft. So then they have planes that are all economy.
Mm-hmm.
So how the mighty have fallen. So please, dear guests, realize that travel plans can change.
Mm-hmm. You
But
were accepted and then you were rejected.
rejected roundly and soundly. It was like, wah. But anyway, so as I say, when we came to Puerto Vallarta, we didn't have any expectations of doing anything, just taking it as it's come. And one of the fun things about Puerto Vallarta, they have markets. We came on a Friday, so the next day, Saturday, there is a market in in the romantic zone every Saturday. And it was fun. Like you go to it, there's lots of local grown produce and vegetable, baked goods, artisan crafts and jewelry, live music. And it's a nice experience just to walk around. And then we walked around the romantic zone. And then we walked along the Malecon. And the Malecon right now has beautiful decorations. There's a huge Catarina with her dog on a leash. That's you can't miss it. And then there's different sculptures of like very colorful, maybe combination of like different kinds of animals in one. It's going to come down in probably this week or next week, but it's a nice opportunity to walk along the ocean, enjoy the different entertainment that's there. The Malacon's actually also extending. They're building an extension to it.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be a treat when it does finish, as far as the promenade extending and a pier happening. And then we were able to get around to different places. You can do like the local bus, taxi, Uber. Now there's similar offers like InDrive and Didi that if you have their app, which is easy to download, you can see the difference between the different companies that offer to different places. So I would recommend you look at that. And also don't be shy about taking the local bus. I recommend too that you download Google Translate as an app, because that way too you can communicate a little bit more easier than trying to figure out like the language barrier that could happen to some as well. Cash is king. So I would say before you leave Canada, to get some pesos from your local bank or foreign exchange currency place. Because it's nice to have cash to be able to go on the local bus, because they won't accept credit cards, right?
Yes, yes.
And some companies like InDrive only accept cash. And you get a local flavor when, say, you are on a local bus. Like, we didn't realize what was happening, but this gentleman came on and spoke in his beautiful, fluent Spanish. And I don't know what he was talking. I don't know. Maybe he was flogging timeshare. We didn't know. Then all of a sudden, he started to rap. And it was like, oh, this is entertainment as well. But of course, you give little tips if you wish and so on. In November, again, beautiful weather, quite hot, but it's not busy with tourists yet. So it's quite nice to go on the Malecon and not have to navigate large crowds or go to a market or navigate, the crowds there. Another market we went to on Sundays is in La Cruz, which is just outside of Bucerias, maybe 40 minutes away from downtown Puerto Vallarta. And it's a fun market to go to. And then last night, or I should say Thursday night, they have one in the marina, and it's huge. It's just amazing with food and artists and so on. It's fun to have that flavor. Definitely, as a tourist, you want to make sure that you protect your belongings, but I felt very safe walking to and from the resort to the market and even being in the market. But as like Calgary, there is so much construction. So traffic in vehicles can be a little tiresome sometimes. So keep that in mind and drink some tequila and you'll be happy and fine. Because I have the opportunity to work remotely. It's pretty easy to work remotely when you're away. Like make sure you check out your resort that the Wi-Fi is included. But even walking around different like down in the Malecon, there's free Wi-Fi if you wish to connect to. So it's a very easy place to work from, a very beautiful place to work from to escape the winter.
Getting back to your point about the Malecon and the giant Catarina, I had the pleasure of being in Puerto Vallarta for Day of the Dead a couple years ago, and yeah, it's really amazing. The size, I do believe it's the tallest Catarina in the world. I think Puerto Vallarta likes to brag about that, so it's really amazing. The Malecon is just it's lots of fun, and I think too when you go on like some vacations, depends where you're going and what your plans are and who you're with. But sometimes the best ones are the ones with no plans.
Well, that's it. Yeah, you don't want, and that's what a true vacation is. It's just like you wake up when you want, you have breakfast when you want. And I have to say, at this resort, what we like is breakfast goes till 11. Like, I know on some ships, like we've had to get up because breakfast ends at 9, which is a little early for us. So we like having the leisure of going for breakfast later, but doing exactly what you say, nothing or whatever you want to do, or just, get up and think, like one afternoon, we went to Bucerias. It's a beautiful little town right on the ocean.
It is. I've been there. It's really, it's a fun place too. And just a point on your, the resort you're staying at, the Casa Villas, when you mentioned it was adults only, my thought came to me, I've never stayed at an adults only resort.
Ever? Anywhere in the world?
No.
Oh, so it's like, talk to your travel agent.
I said that would be an amazing experience, I think.
It was really nice, it is really nice. Like, what I have to say is like, maybe because it's still shoulder season, but we're not running out to save seats at the pool. There is going to be a seat available at the pool for you. Yes. You're not going to have to worry about stuff like that. It's quite nice. It's very relaxed. It's a very enjoyable place to be at. And as I say, it's our return trip to this resort. And there's other adults only in Puerto Vallarta, like Secrets. Secrets is a nice one.
Of course. Yeah, it's not the only one. It was just a funny thought came to my head. Yeah. I've never stayed at one.
Yes, yeah. And everybody loves their kids and their grandkids, but it's
absolutely. Yes, of course. That's there's nothing against staying at non-adult only resorts, but. Yeah. Well, it's good. I'm glad you had a great time. Glad you got a chance to explore and get some sun. And we'll be looking forward to chatting with you next week when you get back. So have a safe trip home. Annetta Forbes is a travel expert. You can follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Some of the photos from Puerto Vallarta. And her website, onettaforbes.com. Gracias.
Take care.
This is the Informed Traveler Podcast. I'm Randy Sharman. Just want to remind you of our website, theinformedtraveler.org. That's where you can find our contact page if you have any questions or comments about the podcast. You can also email me, too, with any questions you might have. My email address is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And you can check out our social media pages, too, at facebook.com/informedtraveler, Instagram @informedtraveler, or on X @informedtraveler. And that's where you'll find a number of videos and reels from our adventures throughout the year and audio clips from our past shows. Plus, you can sign up for our monthly newsletter as well. It's released at the beginning of every month. Our November issue is available. Just go to our website, theinformedtraveler.org, click on the newsletter button, and it'll take you right there. Or better yet, you can subscribe to it and have it arrive in your inbox each month. Well, WestJet recently announced new nonstop service beginning in December from Calgary to Tepic, the capital of Nayarit, Mexico, which opens up a whole new area to explore. So joining us now to share some insight into the area around Tepic is Israel Urbina. He's the PR director for Canada and the U.S. with Visit Nayarit. VisitNayarit.travel is the website. Hi, Israel. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Randy. Hi, everyone.
So Give me a geographic lesson. I always get confused about the area of Nayarit, mostly because most people fly into Puerto Vallarta to get there. So I'm always confused of the area. So give me a geography lesson before we get into all the nuts and bolts and all the fun things to do in Nayarit.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Randy, for this opportunity. So let me explain a little bit. Mexico is divided in the states, 32 states. Nayarit is one of these. Jalisco in the south is another. So Nayarit and Jalisco share this airport that is a PBR airport that has been like very popular for the last 40, 50 years. So that's why that airport is more popular, because people nowadays, you want to get to Puerto Vallarta or to Nayarit, you got to fly to PBR. But the capital of the state of the Nayarit, that is Tepic, has an airport too. It is a domestic airport until actually this year, because now this airport that is Tepic, now is going to be receiving international flights. We started with the first one from LA to Tepic. Tepic is in the center of the state, like from Puerto Vallarta airport to the north, like around 2.5 hours more or less difference. So like this, we'll have the chance to fly directly to the state of Nayarit instead of flying to Puerto Vallarta, that is Jalisco state, and going to the north. So as I was telling you, this is the first thing that we are actually promoting, because this airport nowadays is going to receive international flights direct from USA and Canada too.
Nice. Well, that opens up a whole new opportunity of people exploring, not necessarily different areas. They may have been there before, but it just opens up a whole new area, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's funny to hear that when I ask, for example, people that have you been in Nayarit, and they say no. But when I start asking about where have you been in the area, and they say, oh, I've been to Sayulita, I've been to Punta Mita, so they don't even realize that it's Nayarit actually. So it's funny to tell, and it's important to clarify that. Since Mexico is connected and very well connected by roads, so being in Puerto Vallarta and going to Nayarit is easy. So people can get to these areas very easy.
Mm-hmm. And they can get to Peak easier now, as you mentioned, from Canada and the U.S. Nonstop flights. WestJet is starting, I believe, in December, seasonally once a week. So it's very exciting. And like I say, it's just another opportunity to explore areas that people love to explore in Mexico, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Because, well, as you mentioned it, WestJet is going to start flying this December the 13th. It's going to be a weekly flight every Saturday. So it's going to be a direct flight going to Tepic, Calgary to Tepic direct once a week. So like these people will get involved in what is actually the feeling of the state, because there's no point of traveling to another destination and just stay in a resort or hotel. So if you want to explore and get involved with the culture, this is the best option, because like this, you'll be arriving directly to the heart of the state, the capital, that is Tepic. That to be honest, it's like starting with most of these activities in tourism, but in the area in general, you will find not only the beach areas that Mexico is very well known for, but also volcanoes or waterfalls or colonial towns, because few people know that this area has a lot of historical sites too, archaeological sites. There's like tribes that used to live in this area, and there's a history about people that used to live in this area were the ones that moved to Mexico City to found what is nowadays Mexico. So there's a lot of history in the area too. So interesting if people is willing to try something else in addition to beach and so on, and want to explore something more interesting, more cultural, more gastronomical, they can easily go to this area of Nayarit too.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that's what people are looking for. They're looking for more experiences now, and I'm looking on your website, visit nayarit.travel, and there is lots to do. You can explore archaeological sites. There's whale watching. There's golf courses, Nayarit wine. There's great food to enjoy. So there's lots of things that people can see and do. So let's touch on some of those things. If I have a week to stay there and I'm landing in Tepic, where would you take me?
Well, there's a lot of areas that you can start from there. If you land in Tepic, the capital, you can easily go to the beach area that is San Blas. It's like only 30 minutes from the airport to this main area, but it's in the north, not in the most known areas of the beach of Nayarit, because we call Riviera Nayarit to all these 200 miles of beach that goes from Bahia de Banderas in the south, like next to the airport of Puerto Vallarta, all the way to the north of the state. So all this area is called Riviera Nayarit. And this is the brand that we are actually promoting the most, Nayarit as a state and Riviera Nayarit, the beach area. So if you arrive to this area of the capital of the state at the peak, you're going to be easily go to San Blas. San Blas is only 10 minutes from there. San Blas is very well known for all this gastronomy, actually, because you can find the best pescado zarandeado or grilled fish in this area. They do it in a special way because they use the good from the mangroves to cook this fish, so it gives a different flavor to this. You can find also many seafood like ceviches or chicharrón de pescado. So this area in particular gives you a lot of gastronomy. But going to the south, you will find starting from there, it's actually the Riviera Nayarit. If you go to the south of the state, you will find Punta Mita. Punta Mita is this area with these exclusive resorts. All the international brands that you know in hotels, like Four Seasons, Conrad, St. Regis, One and Only, Fairmont, all these international brands are looking to put a hotel in this area because it became like so popular among these luxury travelers that look for relaxed beach area, but with all these, hard things to get there. So it's easy to get to this area and find these beautiful beach areas. But you also have the option of staying in these hotels and taking day trips, let's say, to Sayulita. Sayulita is this boho chic style magical town that is in the area. Very unique because for those that wants to explore or to feel the authentic Mexico, this is the place. It's surfers paradise. You can find these artisan markets, local cuisine, coffee shops. It's very unique because you cannot find any big resort, just small hotels, boutique hotels. None of this is all inclusive. A lot of condos too. So it's a very relaxed atmosphere. And moving from there, you can actually go to the center of the state, where you can find, for example, Jala. Jala is another colonial town nestled in the foot of this volcano that is in the area. So you will be surprised of moving from one area that is the beach to Sayulita, this boho chic style town, to this colonial town that is Jala, and then, for example, Compostela that is close to Jala. Cali is another historic center of very rich in architecture. You can find churches and houses, coffee plantations in the area. So what I say, if you want to spend a week here in the area, well, look for one of these beautiful resorts in the beach area of Riviera Nayarit, but also take the opportunity to go inside to see Sayulita, Jala, Mezcaltitan, Compostela, all these magical towns that are in the area. And I'm going to speak a little bit more about the magical towns, because magical towns is this program of the federal government to promote these little towns that have something special to attract tourism. And in Mexico, in the whole country, there's 177 magical towns. In the state of Nayarit, we have 9 of those. So a lot of activities, a lot of attractions. Depending on what you're looking for, I'm pretty sure you can find something here in the state.
So what qualifies as a magical town? Like, not every town can call themselves a magical town. So what do they have to go through? And we don't need to get into too much detail about that, but what makes them magical?
Well, the thing is that you gotta claim to be a magical town if you see something that is like attractive for the tourists. Let's say Sayulita. Sayulita attracts tourism in general, but it's a small town. It attracts tourism because it has this authentic Mexican feeling. When you are there, actually you see these colorful streets with all this paper holding on the streets. You see the vendors on the street also selling the handicrafts, all these coffee shops, these stores, these markets that tell you that this is authentic Mexico. That's why you can claim to be a magical town. Of course, this is a whole process, takes like a couple of years to get it. is applying to the federal government, claiming I want to be a magical town because of this and this and this, and I have, let's say, connectivity. I have attraction for all this. I have this main dish that you can find it in most of the markets or restaurants in the area. I have all this natural beauty with these waterfalls or these mangroves or this beach area of this snorkel area. So just to claim that you have something special to attract the tourism and you have the infrastructure to support it. Let's say hotels, transportation, and activities to connect to this area.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So is Sayulita a magical town?
Sayulita is one of the magical towns of Nayarit, yes.
I've been to Sayulita. There is something magical about it. It is a unique town, and I enjoyed my day there. It was quite amazing.
It is. I was telling the people, and it's very easy to get there from the Punta Mita area where you can find all these big resorts that I was mentioning. It's an easy trip of 30 minutes only. You can actually rent a car and do it by yourself, or there's most of the hotels offer this day trip to go to Sayulita or San Pancho. San Pancho is the town that is just next to Sayulita. It's like more cultural. It's the same style of town because it's really small. It goes to the beach, but it's like less crowded than Sayulita. Sayulita is more like for the young visitors, travelers that wants to party at night. But San Pancho in the south is for the less adventurous people that want to relax, boho chic style atmosphere, but without this party vibe, you know?
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Well, the thing is that we're actually trying to promote more and more this area of Nayarit, not only because of the beach. Again, we're actually having more attractions in the area. This is the best season to travel to Nayarit, from the winter of November, December, January, February, because the climate is so unique, not as humid during the summer. You can actually see the home wells in the area because it's the season where you can see them there. I was like last week there, and I saw one from my window. I was in one of the hotels in Puerto Vallarta, and it was so unique to see them in there. And if you want to do something unique, come to this area and visit La Islas Marietas, or called Isla del Amor, Love Island. It's something unique in the area because it's like an island, but it looks like a crater of the moon. And the only way to get there is like taking a boat, swimming a little bit, and getting in through a cave to get into this island. And it's limited to only 200 persons per day. So it's something like very specific, very unique that you can do in this area. So a lot of things. I encourage people to visit, as you mentioned, the website, visit Nayarit.travel, where you can find all these lists of hotels, activities, magical towns, and attractions. And think about like another option. If you've been to Mexico in some other destinations, think about Nayarit like another destination where you haven't been, and you can actually explore the authentic Mexico.
And it's nice that there's another option to fly nonstop into Tepic and go that route too, right?
Exactly, because people want to travel like direct. So we know that, and we are trying to improve the connectivity in flights and also the roads in the area. So like this, you have the option of flying direct all the way from Calgary to Tepic, the capital.
Perfect. Israel Urbina is the USA and Canada PR Director for Visit Nayarit. VisitNayarit.travel is the website. Great chatting with you, Israel. I do appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Randy, and we hope to see you back there in Sayulita and all the area of Nayarit.
And that is our show for this week. If you have comments or questions, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a show idea, send that along as well. My email is randy@theinformedtraveler.org. And if you like what you heard, tell a friend. You can check out our website too at theinformedtraveler.org. In the meantime, thanks for listening, travel safe, and be an informed traveler.